All right, I hit record. All right. I'm here again with Sergeant Daniel Brad MacBolen, the 3rd United States Air Force, and this is Project INCENSION. I'm your host, Andrew Mallet. Go ahead and you start explaining.
Okay. Basically, what we're looking at here is solar loss of solar wind triangular craft that have been redacted. As you can see, some more photoshopping, cutting one to another. They usually put fudge on that, and this is a whole different thing, or it's sometimes it's a mirrored thing. It's easier to just flip it over and then cut and paste it in. But this is redacted by NASA, LASCO C3, the NRO team, with redacted feeds before and after.
Right.
And so, before, after.
Okay, I took everything out.
Yeah. So you see, this is what you were looking at. Then they swap it with one that's bogus.
Right.
You see down here, even the date is changed. But it is the same day. But they don't want you to see this battle planet down here shooting. It's a long distance down here. They're shooting back and forth. But this just happened to be captured before and after. And of course, you don't see anything.
Right.
And of course, this one's getting out of Dodge because the battle planet is, this battle, I'd say call it a guard gate. And then of course, we have the battle planet actually coming out. You'll see one here, and what you think is here is actually right here.
Is that the same thing that they showed on, there's different YouTube videos where there looks like a planet sucking plasma off the sun?
Oh, yeah. Well, you're really pulling hydrogen off the sun.
Right.
Hydrogen's pretty good fuel. I mean, ions are the best fuel because they're everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, you can use hydrogen to make water. There's a lot of things you can do with hydrogen.
So there's two or one?
Yeah, it's just one of the things to do. But you got two coming out here. The one they tried to Photoshop out, they got a little too aggressive with Photoshopping, and you can see it. And so here's one that's before they can't really Photoshop because it cuts out the
right
in order to make it look like a flare. Now you'll see chrome, looks like a chrome mass ejection. They're all weird shapes and sizes. So there is that. Just to give you an example of what happens with redactions. Now, with this,
wow.
Yeah, you've got one guy coming through hot and heavy, and you notice not vibrating, it's just blasting its way through.
Right.
Okay, and it's coming out, it's a Blazarian craft, all the cigar shape, cylindrical shapes are Blazarian.
And that's a massive ship. Battle
well,
planet.
I don't know if they're good or bad.
No, I said it's massive.
Oh yeah, this is massive. This is probably the diameter. The length of it is probably the diameter of the moon or larger.
Right.
But the folks on the other side of the gate that this attaches to just shot someone who was getting ready to shoot him down. So they shot them down, and you had this massive explosion that happened partly in the other Stargate that passes through, and you see the explosion following this guy out. But yeah, this is a spacecraft which was chasing him. It was blown up halfway in some other Stargate, and so it was probably blown up. The majority of the explosion happened on the other Stargate, and this Stargate, it just kind of vents through because he's coming. It's coming through.
Yeah, because you don't see anything like that on regular mainstream stuff. They just have the goofy coronal ejections.
Right, coronal mass ejection, CMEs.
Right.
And so you notice this is a little different format. It's actually labeled C2.
Right.
This is classified.
Yeah.
This is C2, but it's because it has that lettering up there. This is not. You're not supposed to see this.
Right. Right.
Who cares? What are they gonna do? Shoot me? Like they haven't done that before. I don't worry.
That's
about
amazing.
Living or dying, I'm already. Like all the good samurais, they say, "Well, I'm already dead. You can't kill me. I'm already dead. I have no fear." Now, this is a Kodak moment.
All kinds of stuff going on there.
Yeah, the biggest thing is this is a fusion explosion that's taking place. You can see it hit here, and it wipes out the camera before it shuts the camera off. Or what I think happened was it shuttered the camera. The EMP caused the camera to take a picture and put a label on it, even though it wasn't supposed to take a picture.
Right.
It just shocked it. It hit it so bad that you see the stylus here, and the representative of the sun is knocked so far up from the wave, the shock wave passing through space, that it knocks it out of place. And of course, you get to see a nice little fusion explosion, not fission.
Right.
Picture the largest combination of all nuclear weapons ever made on this planet by humankind or non-terrestrials, and set them off all at once. And you're not even, you're not even a firecracker.
And that black one there, that's.
Now this is the shock wave of the stylus being vibrated inside the camera, inside the telescope. But what you're seeing here is Archon Draco ship. This is a Draco ship. This is what it looks like. A little tail fins in the back, big ugly looking nose in the front. Well, this guy just came out about right here. Actually, right there. That's what he used to be. Now, you see why it's kind of great to have a camera that can take 1/10,000th of a second shutter speed picture. Because now, this is part of all this over here. Everything that's all over here is like, used to be just a little bit of, it's actually happening as we look at it. This guy is being disintegrated, and his drive is exploding, and this is what it looks like. And here's some of the guys that took the blast. There's a battle planet here. There's one over here in the middle of shooting. One there, one there, one there. All these guys over here, most likely they didn't survive.
Well,
this guy, because this guy went first and this guy was following him through, this one came through this trajectory, this one came up from the other bottom trajectory and got blasted off course. Well, you don't see the next event, but this guy goes, because he's toast. And so the same thing that you see happening in this microsecond, I guess you want to say, happens the next microsecond to this guy. So we're pretty sure all these missiles down here that were close enough.
Got it too.
Yeah, they didn't quite make it. Some of these ones over here and here, they didn't make it. Now, the interesting part is this is the incident. And this took place, well, I can't give you the date because the date is actually washed out. And here's the bottom of the picture. And of course, it just really rocked the satellite. But this is a battle planet that's about 4.5 times the size of the sun, of Jupiter. I'm sorry, 4.5 times bigger than Jupiter. And here's some incoming, they're landing here. Now, he usually stays right here where he cannot be seen. But because of this detonation, the whole telescope is rocked backwards. And of course, it opens up to reveal. And of course, by the time we got to it, they were starting, they de-res it. They couldn't remove it. So they just de-res everything. So you don't get a real crisp, clean. You get more pixelated because had they not de-res this, you could literally see the outline of the fuselage, the wings, the ugly looking Draco nose. Everybody builds ships that look like them in their species. So I guess we got a lot of saucer heads in it. I haven't met any saucer heads, but Star Trekies, but somebody's got to have a flat head with a saucer on it, and their ears go back in a direction like that, or maybe up here and or I don't know. But anyway, you get an idea. This was guarding the planet. In fact, I believe this was when they blew the back of the gate out.
Right.
I believe this was actually the date in which this happened, and they tried to bring two, and you can see the size of that Arco vessel and compare it to the sun. This is maybe 20,000. No, you would say that. I'm pretty bad with, how do you say, because, when you start getting up in here, you start getting up into scientific notation.
Right.
1 times 10 to the negative, or 1 times 10 to the positive third power. It's really big, or velocities. You don't have a speed, you have velocities. And what's the velocity? Oh, they were traveling at 1 times 10 to the negative 99 power. What, 60 times the speed of light? No, actually, negative 99 is a Google. So, well, moving much faster than the speed of light.
But it's good we're showing this, though, because a lot of people don't understand the massive amounts of help we're getting.
Right, yeah. Well, we're getting help, but I don't trust these guys either. Somebody's doing something for a reason.
Right.
Humans have agendas. Dracos have agendas. Anunnaki have their agendas. The Archons and Dracos have their agendas. The Pleiadians have their agenda. The Arcturians, who really have some really neat weapons, which you're about to see. I believe. I hope. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe this has something on it. Let's see if this has something on it that is of interest. Well, I guess we're just going to have to scroll as we go. I don't know when this took place, but here's the surface of the sun. And here is somebody is blasting a weapon from another Stargate, and because there's 2 holes now in Soulgate, they're blasting this weapon out the top and out the bottom of the. This is where the Stargate is supposed to be, and of course the other one is a little skewed because they shot the backside of it out. And so now we've got multiple holes, and then they find little segments that they can come out. And then, of course, here's what that looks like.
Wow.
On the flux index. That really puts a hurt on your brain. That's like frying brain cells. So, I believe this is another portion of the classified feed. And it's probably, remember, when it has an hour and a date and a second, this is a live stream. This is not picture taking.
Right, right.
This is real time. We're watching people shoot each other down like you watch a gunfight out in the middle of the street. And this is not even what do you call it, OK Corral. But there's a lot of shooting. You can see that this goes completely across.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how long that beam goes because it goes right out of sight. But you see how if we zone in on this, we can tell that these are Pleiadian because they're spiral laser type pulse weapons. And of course, I'm going to give you a little closer view of that in a moment. Now, this is someone else who actually showed you battle planets, and they're just basically soaking up some energy that they're refueling. Most of the time, they're recharging weapon systems. So you'll see them come into the gate to kind of rip off a little event horizon energy. Okay, and the next we have is 1/10,000th of a second. Now, I couldn't even begin to tell you how fast this vessel is flying. But as you notice, what does this look like to you?
Shrapnel.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This vessel is literally traveling at light speed, some multiple of light speed, and it is about ready to go boom boom.
Yeah, you can see it looks just like, shrapnel on a movie.
Yeah, it looks like you watch the old World War II movies where B-17s get shot and parts are falling off. Well, these are in a plasmic state. To give off this kind of light, that means they got plasma busted with a plasma. Of course, this is a non-classified for you and me public consumption. Here is a planet coming in from a different satellite. I'm not going to leave that on very long because we don't want to give away too much. We don't want to give away how we get in.
Right.
And so they can't stop us from getting in anyway. But anyway, now this is added in. So you can, now these were added to the photograph so that you can see that this beam, and it'll be apparent to you in a moment. But this is an Anunnaki vessel that has just had its, I shouldn't really swear on here, should I?
It don't matter to me.
It's had its rear end shot off.
Right.
This beam came through and shot off this dude's tail, and now he's leaking. And there are other stuff going on here as far as when this weapon hit, it started vaporizing a lot of other dudes around because you really don't have an idea how big this is. This is the size of the sun.
Each circle.
Each circle is the diameter of Sol. So the beam is out here. The the Anunnaki vessel is here. And of course, it didn't make it. Now, here's a basic one screenshot in 1997 of how bad things got.
That's all.
This is D-Day.
Yeah, it's all firing.
This is there's so much killing going on in the background that you cannot tell where the stellar drift is. This is just one shot of November 6th of 1997 at 15:57 Universal Time, or Greenwich Mean Time, or Zulu, however you want to call it. Anyway, this is the shooting and the killing that's going on over you and this illegal Stargate.
It's almost incomprehensible, the amount of shooting.
Yeah, you can't tell who's shooting who, and neither can they.
Yeah.
You just go out there until you get vaporized. And it's like I went to one particular group and said, hey, take me aboard. And he goes, we don't think you're ready for this yet. You don't understand the scale. Once you understand the scale, then maybe we'll come and get you. So we start running short on guys to fire weapons. And are you any good at video games?
Me?
No.
Me, no.
Yeah, well, they asked me, are you any good at video games? No. We probably can't use you because you probably get a skill. But anyway, here you've got massive amounts of radiation finding its way in through. Now, this is just galactic, this is energy, waves coming through that are setting off pixels in the camera. This is an overlay of C2 over C3 to where you can literally look and see the surface of this the Stargate. Okay, this is actually I should show that. Giving away secrets here. I think we can click on it and get this to move. Can I get it to move? No, it's a gift. But anyway, you'll see where a strike comes out and hits Earth, and how it deviates and moves around. And for some reason, we never even knew about it. That should have shut down every electrical grid on this planet. Here's a fellow who's trying to head for the Soul Gate. Well, too late. Sorry.
Didn't make it.
He's burning up. And if he makes it into the Soul Gate and back out the other side without detonating, it would be a miracle. I hope he made it, because it's on chip. I hope he made it. Normally I'm not cheering for one side of them because they all have their agendas and they all look at us like dirt. So, we got our third strand. We're not going to be like that.
Right.
We're not going to let ego become the mind killer. Now, see what happens when a beam hits the sun by accident.
That's massive.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to happen. But it did. Sometimes, stuff happens. And now you get to see an actual photograph of the gate guard battle plan. That's what it really looks like in real time. That's what it looks like when you look at it with your telescope or your eyeballs. That's how big it is. And they always have this little dish dug out, and it's a parabolic dish, and they use it for driving around and shooting at people. But they can shoot from any surface of this battle planet.
Actually, it looks like there's three different layers.
Well,
like three different tiers.
You're not getting to see a paraboloid there. There's a paraboloid there. There's a disc, and of course it gets pixelated at this point.
Yeah.
But there is a dish like this style. So
yeah.
Most of the battle planets are based on that design because it's a circle, a bubble is still the most efficient for most cases. Okay. This is an Archon Draco vessel. firing at another vessel. This is a probe that's just sitting out there watching it. And of course, I thought I had that all set up. Anyway, this red Kachina, it didn't stay for very long. It got kicked out. Oh, I spoiled it. I'm sorry. And this is called a spoiler. Now, here's the probe. Here's what used to be, and it still is a little bit Arco-Draconian. You can see chunks of it flying off. And you can see the probe is still out here monitoring an Ansible. And then you see the Lajarin vessel wanting to make sure that this thing goes completely kaput. So it's out there, and it's wanting to make sure that every bit of the black goo on this goes into a plasmic state and is destroyed. So this is pretty cool.
That's so wild looking.
Yeah, well, it's bringing its probe back in.
Right.
The probe was actually coming back in and before the shockwave hits, because it's getting ready to go fusionable. We'll put it that way. Have you seen enough of that one?
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine this being like the East Coast and this being into the ocean off the West Coast somewhere?
And it's massive, massive.
Yeah. This is bigger than the United States is long from San Diego to Maine. Okay, so it's big. You don't just walk around on this vessel. I guess you do, but it's better if you pad around than teleportation pads. This is what the poor fellow looked like before the whole thing started. There's the tail section, the drive section, and the funny-looking, goofy nose that was only about. And here's the probe, and of course, it gets shot. And I wish I could put this in order. I wasn't prepared for this, but I wanted to put it in order so, it would have some kind of, Kodak moment to it. Anyway, now you notice there are naturally occurring rings. If you've ever watched, what do they call that? Stargate SG-1?
Yeah.
Or Stargate, the movie. You had these series of rings that came down and then teleported people back and something. This is called a pressure beam. This can attract and pull you towards them. This can push away, or this can come at you at an exosecond and turn you into plasma. Inside here are teleportation battle planets already set up in a scrimmage line. And you notice they're in a scrimmage line. They're being teleported into place so that the minute the rings come back, boom, they start firing.
Wow.
And I'm talking, this is really some serious butt kicking and some name taking. Ladies and gentlemen, forgive me if I offended you, but it's not only for teleportation, it's not only for dragging something around like a small planet or a big planet. You could drag planets around. You could push them away, or you could just eliminate the planet altogether.
Yeah, people have no clue what is coming.
Well, let's try to give them a clue.
Well, I'm saying this is the heads up.
Yeah, they have no idea. They have no concept. It's kind of hard. It's not even now for me. It's hard for me to get my brain around a weapon that is also a teleportation device, which is also a pusher and a puller, a tractor and a pressure beam, A pressure beam pushes away, a tractor beam attracts,
Okay.
an attractor beam. I'm getting closer to Trekkie terms, but pressure is what the military calls it. It's a pressure beam. It can go either way. We pick up unidentified submerged objects that we've killed the crew and stole the vessel. But anyway, here is it being fired to wipe out some bad guys that are behind the stylus there, and to deliver some battle into position. So when they withdraw this, they just start flying. They actually start flying before they withdraw the beam.
Wow.
So they got ammunition on the way to the vessel, and it's a lot of death and dying going on. I mean, there's millions and millions of deaths every day. So what is worth all those deaths?
Right. Something.
You are worth it.
Right.
Come on. Yeah. Okay, now, this is the Blue Kachina, and this is 1/10 of a second. It has traveled in through here, around, and made a circle, which you can't see because it's too big for the telescope to see. And it's come back up, and now it's making a left-hand turn. Now, this is all captured in 1/10,000th of a second. So, I don't know. I'm guesstimating because I'm not a scientific notation kind of guy, but I would figure that's somewhere around 30 multiples of C, 30 times the speed of light.
What do you have any clue of what's actually powering that?
Oh, it's ion drive.
Oh, okay.
It's ion drive. We'll actually take a look at that. And as you can see, you see how quickly it navigates?
Right.
Now, this is 1/10,000th of a second. And it's moved into the frame while the picture's being taken and out of the frame. So I'm hoping you can get your brain wrapped around that. This is a Red Kachina. These are the bad guys. It did not make it back in. It got kicked out twice. It's been kicked out twice. Here is now you think that this is a Arcturian battle vessel, but it's not. It's actually an Anunnaki. You tell by the weapon it's uses to firing. But here's just, there it is, and there it is. And you can tell by the tail. It's usually the Arcturians. This pulse wave here just goes in and out as they move, no matter what direction they move. But you notice there's two of them.
Right. I was just going to say,
Right.
there's
And,
something else there.
Yeah, and this is May 1st on May Day 2013. Just a few exciting things.
Wow.
Here's some energy going through, and an Arcturian battle star, two of them. Now this just happened a couple of days ago, last week. Two of these came through. Now, they came through in 2010 and did a flyby in pairs, just like they did last week. Chances are these are the same battle stars with a different crew.
Wow.
And here is cosmic energy, and somehow these fellows are sending vessels in there to shield us from this high-intensity cosmic radiation. We get just enough to allow our DNA to be stimulated to grow. I have no idea what this is. I'm pretty sure this is the Blue Kachina up close and personal as it's standing still.
Is that the sun behind it?
This is Venus, and I believe that is Mars. If it has a vertical axis, that's planetary. That's belongs here, whatever,
Right.
you're taught in school. They all have a vertical axis. All the stuff that's not natural has a horizontal axis. And so you get a really nice close-up, and it's getting ready to fire, getting ready to shoot. It's pulling energy across and getting ready to fire. And this is 2011 on March 21st, 03:29 in the morning, Zulu time, Greenwich Mean Time. Now, you notice these are not planets. These are battle stars. Okay? You saw the ones that were vertical, right?
Right. Right.
Venus and Mars, or Venus and, I didn't say Mars. I did say Mars. Venus and Mercury. Sometimes I wonder about myself. But that was a picture taken from behind the stylus. So
What are all the stripes?
this is intense cosmic radiation coming through. Some of these are actually a little help from the friends who are shooting while this is coming through. High intensity cosmic energy is coming through. Some people are helping to direct this energy through by shooting weapons through here. This guy has good positive influence or intentions towards this fellow. So, and this is a laser type pulse weapon, but it is not an Arcturian or a Pleiadian weapon, but that is a Pleiadian vessel. And none of these guys are shooting, none of these guys are what you call good. Of course, I don't know, because like I said, I'm not going to get political or religious or spiritual or judgmental, loving and non-judgmental, and but if they harm an innocent human being, then I just wish them out of existence.
Right.
Transmutation into pure energy. Don't mess with a human. Don't mess with a third-stranded or 12-stranded human. Hopefully they'll be loving and lovable. I hope so.
Yeah.
Now you're getting to see military-industrial complex weapon. Now this is much closer. You know how everything is kind of de-res.
Right.
You're looking and it's highly, well, that's a tier 3 battleship there. It's in the head community, but it's too close to the camera, so they have to either you block that out by pixelating it, or you de-res the whole bloody photo. That just happens to be a de-res, and oops, that's classified feed. But that's what, when you see a block there to the public feed, normally that's what you're watching.
Right.
That's Solar Watch. He basically assigned the Solar Watch. You go around here, and then further out, you got Solar Warning. They're watching other people further out. But, yeah, like I said, we won't zoom in on that because here's a public feed. And this is a battle planet that just went through a I'll give you a dog. April 9th, 2013.
Wow.
This is what happens. This is what you call more the shape of an Anunnaki vessel, the Phoenix
Right.
shape. Yeah, that's a classified feed. Because A, it's not de-res enough, and pieces and chunks and pieces parts are falling off of this because it's about ready to go boom boom.
Well, what is that?
This is a weapon, someone using the Stargate, the Sungate, as a weapon. This one just happened to be an energy burst that was fired at the Reykjavik, knocking it at, I don't know how many multiples of C, knocking it out of the solar system. The whole solar, and just boom, reaches out and slaps it like you would slap a chair. Boom, it's gone. And you got weapons fire up here, and you got the fellows coming back through with the Battle Star. No fighting going on down here. This is 2 years ago in September. Okay, and there's going out of range. And you've got some weird activity going around with the, because they do come in when they go out and they protect the Soul Gate. This is before the back end of this, was shot out, I believe. Yeah, because that only happened like last year, months ago. Now, this is January 17th. And when this hit us, it knocked most of us out. People that are sensitive or third stranded, this knocked me out.
It's January 17th.
Yeah, this was at 8 p.m. my time.
Oh.
I was walking somewhere, and when this started coming through about 23:15 Zulu, which is on my time schedule right before, just a few minutes after 7 o'clock.
What exactly are we
7
looking
p.m.
at there?
I'm sorry?
What exactly are we looking at there? Everything.
There's a tremendous amount of cosmic energy coming through that's so high intensity that it stops these battle planets from operating. They can't fire. They can discharge from, if they're not caught up in the stream. Sometimes it actually causes their battle planet to discharge. Sure hope nobody was in the way. This actually knocked me out before I could reach a chair. I started feeling faint right around this time at it was 7:18 p.m. my time. And I never made it to the chair.
Because I've had that happen, so now I know why.
Oh, you woke up on the floor?
Yeah, 3 times.
Conscious, or were you unconscious when you woke up on the floor?
Unconscious.
Oh, yeah, because this completely knocked me out for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour.
Mine were only like 30 seconds, 60 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, this, at that time, at this particular time, Earth was right there. And so that one big thing went through, and the East Coast was on that side, and I went down for an hour.
Oh.
I mean, it just knocked me out. Oh!
You saw that.
There we go. Well, let's back that up and kind of replay it. Now you'll notice we're at 0000 on the 9th. Then go click over the. Okay, it just clicked over from February 8th to February 9th, and then of course we take this slowly, and you'll see somebody shooting at this poor fellow who. Oh, just barely makes it out.
Yeah. Wow.
But you can tell he's not in good shape.
Right.
He caught some front end damage there and is blowing out. and then of course he's getting sucked back in for a moment, and so that's why you see the front of his ship starting to come apart. Because he comes out, then it sucks him back in. I mean, then other people see what happened and they get a little upset, get carried away with the shooting, and of course, that's all she wrote for the guy we were looking at. We're hoping that it made its way through, but
Yeah.
No, with such good fortune. And you got battle plans being blown in from another universe or another part of the galaxy, and just blown in here because of the violence of the explosion. And you got another one here on fire. You got them fighting in here. You got them fighting down there. It's like bedlam. You got some here refueling, and then you see the stream.
Right. Yes.
They're fueling up, or they'll travel in and out of the stream. You have another one that's got smoke. That might have been the same one, and just looped around, and he's on fire, but didn't quite. But, it's like, yeah. So we'll back it up and go through this again. And as you can see, the clock progress on the same day. Boom, boom, boom.
That's pretty crazy.
You watch the action and I'll watch the clock, and we'll just run out of time on this feed. And most of the action is over. But you run it reverse, and of course, we'll stop and show you the shooting as we step back. I mean, it's an everyday occurrence for these guys. Shooting and killing and carrying on and having war. And it's like, I don't know, it's going to be an advanced race. It sounds like the Star Trek, Next Generation.
Right.
They say, we're out here for the fun directive. We come out here, we have the rule of non-interference. But when someone messes with them, what do? They just pick up a bigger gun. What are you going to learn? Stop picking up a gun.
Right.
What are you going to learn? And this old boy, there's a battle planet, and I don't know what that is, but it's not there anymore. I mean, it's still there, but not in the same shape. You want me to zoom in on that so you get a real...
Yeah, you can see it there. There you go.
Yeah, you can see this battle planet just has an Archon Draco vessel. You just chopped it in half. And of course, it's gone. And like I say, we go through the entire thing until everything slows down. But you see all this firing, all this action. A lot of times, all this movement that you're seeing is battle planets that are moving at, whoa, let's go back there for a bit.
Wow.
Now, this is somebody who's not friendly to us because of you can tell by the weapons fired who the weapon belongs to. You zoom in, these are the bad guys. Those are the Arcturians. They may be bad too, who knows? But the bad, the good, the ugly, whatever, they're all up there shooting. This is February. I think we covered this is the last portion of the day. You saw.
Come out, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the Soul Gate settles down, and you get to see another fellow Now, does that look like gases to you?
No, it looks like actual shockwave.
Let me back up one. Now, what does that whole thing look like to you? It's been de-read out of the picture.
Like a spray can.
That is a battle planet.
Yeah.
And it's just near the size of the Stargate it came through. So, like the little dog in Men in Black says, you humans, when will you ever get an idea that just because something is small doesn't make it insignificant, or makes it insignificant, or that it's not important? Like a galaxy. Yeah, an entire galaxy is like the size of a jewel or a marble, because things are a little different in physics. Anyway, that's just the rest of the day when another one came out. And that was the same one, classified feed. Another classified feed. On the same day, but this is a live feed. You notice, you see hours, minutes.
What's going on there? It's just whited out.
Somebody came through the gate and got shot and went. That's a fusion. That's what you get when you see a fusion explosion. It wiped everything out just before it shut the camera down and overheated the camera. The military. This is a military camera, which I shouldn't be talking about, but this has both the overlay. So, but it doesn't give you any description of where or who this camera is. You guys out in the military, you know what that like this is. So, okay, you're not the only one that can take a look at Kodak moments. Anyway, that's a fusion explosion that pretty much shut down this satellite and rendered it. It has to cool off before it starts working again. Next day, same stuff, different day.
Oh.
Yeah, you got battles going on. I wish I could do this without it causing the screen to flicker, but let's go back and take a look and see if we can identify this fellow. Okay, can you tell me who this is? Andrew.
Anunnaki?
Is it Anunnaki or Arcturian?
That's my guess, Anunnaki.
Okay, you see those little edges that are coming out?
Yeah.
They pulse back and forth. That's Arcturian.
Wow.
After a while of watching this every day for 18 hours a day, all of a sudden you just know who's who. You start figuring it out real quick.
What is going on up there?
Well, they de-res this because it's a public feed.
Oh, okay.
So they de-res it, but it's just, another little, it's a little skirmish line set up. But there's, when you're talking about the power of the weapons they're using,
wow.
You see what it does.
Right.
We're talking about getting smoked. Now, can you imagine this being, well, let's just go from here to go to here. That's the length of the United States of America from, I don't know, way down, right before you foot in the water in San Diego, or you step off in the water in Maine, maybe Nova Scotia. Anyway, this poor fellow's at it. I hope not, but
yeah.
I even hate to see the bad guys bite it. But anyway, when they shut down certain parts, I could only record pictures. And some of these pictures are missing because they were redacted.
Right.
And it's because there was some serious stuff going on. And that's all I have for you, I believe. Yeah, we've covered everything that's coverable. We've covered everything that, and the rest is, there, below that is classified. So I don't even allow that to be put on the viewer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you want to go to number 3 another day? Because we're at an hour again.
Yep, we should close her on up because, and now we are, yeah, we're pretty much out of Zoom. And I guess the next time we'll actually go into live feeds. This is Sgt.Daniel. It's the universal symbol for light, sound, and vibration.
Wow, pretty cool.
And yeah, well, you'll find that on my arm. Tattoo here on my arm, and tattoo here on my arm. So anyway, that's pretty much it, Andrew, for the second version there, and I'll let you go ahead and do the outro. And thank you again. Love, love, love. Be loving and lovable. Be kind, because you see what happens when you're not and you have big toys.
Let me close this out and don't take off. Go ahead and stop share screen.
How do I do that? Oh, I have to go to Zoom and bring Zoom. Open it up. Back to meeting. Okay, stop sharing. Okay, now return the control of the sync back to you.
All right, and that's Sergeant Daniel Brad MacDolan, United States Air Force, and that was number 2. And this is Project Incentian. I'm your host, Andrew Mallett, and we'll be back later with number 3. And bye-bye.